I had actually had a sore throat for a little while, and some of my friends from work almost forced me to go to the doctor. At first, I went to one of those local first meds, and they said I had strep throat. So they gave me antibiotics, sent me home. Nothing got better. So about 2 weeks later, my boss, who's one of my best friends, said, "You're going back and you're finding another doctor." So I found a wonderful woman. She did an exam, and right away she said, "I want you to see an ENT specialist today." I went there, they did a biopsy. They said, "You have cancer, but we're gonna do the test and all of that." It was in the back of my soft palate, so the back and top of my throat. At first, I was in shock, and then kind of denial, and it was right around December 23rd, and it's a big family time, so I refused to tell anybody. I wanted everybody to have a Merry Christmas. So, New Year's Day, we all went over to my brother's house, and I told everybody. And everybody was so supportive. So then the journey started. After I was done with the round of chemotherapy, radiation, and immunotherapy, he said, "The good thing is the treatments have been working, but we want to do a surgery." At the time, I was a little bit surprised because I'd done so much, but that was eventually scheduled, and that happened in October of that year. So this is October after COVID happened, so everything was shut down. I remember waking up in the ICU and asking for my phone so I could text everybody to tell them that I was okay. Eventually, after about a month or so, I ended up coming in. He said, "You're healing great, and we think that the margins are clear, but to be sure, we want you to do another round of chemotherapy and radiation." So you must be joking. So then that next January, I started the process again. You have to listen to the experts and take their advice. I had the right people, I had the right support, and there was no way that I wasn't gonna come out the other side. After 2 chemos, 2 radiation and immunotherapy, and a surgery, I was done. I was so happy. I've always had a good relationship with my mom, but when all of this happened, for better or for worse, mostly for better, she ended up living with me 2 different times for about a month each time, and not only was she there to help me, but I saw how strong of a woman she was. This past year, since I had so much radiation, the bone in my jaw had deteriorated. The jaw actually broke, and so the way to fix it was apparently to have a bone taken out of my leg, put here, and replace part of it. And so this past August, we had my second surgery. The difference between my first and second surgery, the biggest difference was the first was the removal of the cancer and not being sure if it was done. That was more difficult because of the unknown. The second surgery, it was, I almost want to say simple. It was the farthest thing from simple, but to know that it's one and done, there was a definitive end. When I would get my scans every 6 months after my first round, I would get a little anxious because it's like, is there going to be bad news, all of that? It gets easier and easier to do that because it's less of the question, do I have cancer? It's more the confirmation, yeah, I don't have cancer.